Hi everybody, welcome to our first little reading session. So if you did watch the video that I posted the other week, you'll know that our book, the novel we're focusing on, is called The Adventures of the Wishing Chair. And what I asked you to do was to make a prediction, to have a guess about what you think the story is going to be about. And I had lots of predictions come in, all about what you think is going to happen in the story. Some people were thinking with this term wishing chair, that there was going to be some magical chair that would grant you wishes. This word adventures as well came up. Some people were thinking that they're going to go on lots of adventures, maybe going to go on a big trip somewhere. And a lot of you said they were really keen to read the book and very excited to hear the story. And so am I. So I'm very excited to be reading chapter 1 for you today in this video. So the other thing I will mention before we start is that because it's a chapter book, it's not a picture book, there's not pictures on every page, so there's quite a lot of pages, and when I'm reading you might notice that I'm just reading to you, so you'll need to use your imagination for some of the pictures to imagine what it would be like, and maybe that's something you could do after each chapter, is draw some pictures that you think what you think would be happening. But on the pages that there are pictures, I will definitely share them with you so that you can have a wee glimpse of what's going on. Okay, so I'm just going to start just now. Chapter 1, and it's called The Strange Old Shop. Okay, so get comfortable, get a little snack or a drink if you would want one, and let's start. So, The Strange Old Shop. The adventures really began on the day that Molly and Peter went out to spend 35 pence on a present for their mum's birthday. They emptied the money out of their money box and counted it. 35? Said Peter. Good. Now, what should we buy, Mother? Mother loves old things, said Molly. If we could find an old shop somewhere, full of old things like funny spoons, or little glasses, or vases and beads, something like that would be lovely for Mother. She would love an old tea caddy to keep the tea in, I'm sure, or perhaps an old vase. All right, said Peter. We'll go and find one of those shops this very day. Put your hat on and come on, Molly. So off they went and they ran into town. It's a shop with the word antiques over it that we want, said Peter. Antiques means old things. Just look out for that word, Molly. But there seemed to be no shop with the word antiques printed over it at all. The children left the main street and went down a little turning. There were more shops there, but still not the one that they wanted. So, on they went, and they came to a small, narrow street whose houses were so close that there was hardly any light on the road. And there, tucked away in the middle, was the shop with the word antiques printed on a label inside the dirty window. Good, said Peter. Here is a shop that sells old things. Look, Molly, do you see that strange little vase with swans set all round it? I'm sure Mother would like that. And look, it's marked 25 pence. We could buy that and some flowers to put in it. So, into the old dark shop they went. It was so dark that the children stumbled over some piled up rugs on the floor. Nobody seemed to be about. Peter went to the counter and rapped on it. A tiny door at the back opened, and out came the strangest little man. He wasn't higher than the countertop. He had pointed ears like a pixie. The children stared at him in surprise. He looked very cross and spoke sharply. What do you want, making a noise like that? Well, we want to buy the vase with swans round it, said Peter. Muttering and grumbling to himself, the little chap picked up the vase and pushed it across the counter. Peter put down the money. Can I have some paper to wrap the vase in? He asked politely. You see, it's for my mother's birthday, and I don't want her to see me carrying it home. Grumbling away to himself, the little man went to a pile of boxes at the back of the shop and began to open one to look for a piece of paper. The children watched. To their enormous surprise, a large black cat with golden eyes jumped out the box and began to spit and snarl at the little man. He smacked it away and put it back in. Whew. Then he opened another box. Out of that came a great wreath of green smoke that wound round the shop and smelled so strange. The little man caught hold of it again like it was a ribbon and tried to stuff it back in the box. But it broke off and went wandering away. He stamped and raged about. The children were a bit frightened. "We'd better go without the paper," whispered Molly to Peter. But just then, another extraordinary thing happened. Out of the next box came a crowd of blue butterflies. They flew into the air, and the little man shouted with rage again. "Ah!" He darted to the door and shut it, afraid that the butterflies might escape. To the children's horror, they saw him lock the door and then put the key in his pocket. "We can't get out until he lets us go now," said Molly. "Oh dear, why did we ever come here? I'm sure that little man is a gnome or something." The little fellow opened another box, and, hey presto, out jumped a red fox. It gave a short bark and then began to run about the shop, its nose at the ground. The children were half afraid of being bitten, so they both jumped into an old chair with their legs off the ground, out of the way of the fox. It was the most curious shop that they had ever been in. Fancy keeping all those queer things in boxes. Really, there must be some magic about somewhere. This couldn't be a proper shop. The children noticed a little stairway leading off the shop, about the middle. And suddenly, at the top of this, there appeared somebody else. It was someone tall and thin, with such a long beard that it swept all the way to the ground. On his head was a pointed hat that made him seem even taller. "Look," said Molly. "Doesn't he look like a wizard?" "Tippet, Tippet, what are you doing?" cried the newcomer in a strange, deep voice, like the rumbling of faraway thunder. "Looking for a piece of paper," answered the little man in a surly tone, "and I can find as butterflies and foxes, a black cat, and everything else." "What? You've dared to open those boxes?" shouted the other angrily. He stamped down the stairs and then saw the children. "And who are you?" he asked, staring at them. "How dare you come in here?" "We wanted to buy this vase," said Peter, a bit frightened. "Well, seeing you're here, you can help Tippet to catch the fox," said the tall man, twisting his beard in a knot and tying it under his chin. "Come on." "I don't want to," said Molly. "He might bite me." "Please unlock the door and let us go." I'm just going to stop here and show you this little photo inside the picture of what's happening. Okay, so there we can see some of our character. There we can see Molly. Okay, we can see Peter, and we can see the fox they're trying to catch. And here's a little old man. Here comes Tippet. Okay, so we'll read the next page. So Molly wants to get out of the shop, we know that. "Not till the fox and all the butterflies are caught and put into their boxes again," said the tall man. "Oh dear," said Peter, making no movement to get out of the chair in which he and Molly were still sitting in, with their legs drawn up. "I do wish we were home safely." And then the most extraordinary thing happened. The chair they were in began to creak squeak and groan, and suddenly it rose up in the air with the two children in it. They held on tightly, wondering what was happening. It flew to the door, but that was shut. It flew to the window, but that was shut too. Meantime, the wizard and Tippet were running after the chair, crying out, "How dare you use our wishing chair? Wish it back! Wish it back!" "I shan't," cried Peter. "Go on, wishing chair, take us home." The chair, finding that it could not get out the door or the window, flew up the little stairway. It nearly got stuck at the doorway at the top, which was rather narrow, but just managed to squeeze its way through. Before the children could see what the room upstairs was like, the chair flew to the window there, which was open, and out it went into the street. It immediately rose up very high indeed, far beyond the housetops, and flew towards the children's home. How amazed they were, and how tightly they clung to the arms of the chair. Oh, it would be dreadful to fall down there. "I say, Molly, can you hear a flapping noise?" said Peter. "Has this chair got wings?" Molly peeped cautiously over the sides of the chair. "Yes," she said, "it has little red wings growing out of each leg, and they make the same flapping noise. How weird." The chair began to fly downwards. The children saw that they were just over their garden. "Go to our playroom, chair," said Peter quickly. The chair went to a big shed at the bottom of the garden. Inside was a playroom for the children, and here they kept all their toys and books, and they could play any game they liked. The chair flew in at the front door and came to rest on the floor. The children jumped off and looked at one another. "The first real adventure we've ever had in our lives," said Molly in delight. "Oh, Peter, to think that we've got a magic chair, a wishing chair." "Well, it isn't really ours," said Peter, putting the swan vase carefully down the table. "Perhaps we'd better send it back to that shop." "Oh, I suppose we had," said Molly. "Oh, it would be so lovely if we could keep it." "Go back to your shop, chair," commanded Peter. But the chair didn't move an inch. Peter spoke to it again. Still, the chair wouldn't move. There it was, and there it stayed, in their playroom. And suddenly, the children noticed that its little red wings had gone from the legs. It looked just an ordinary chair now. "See, Molly, the chair hasn't any wings," cried Peter. "It can fly." "I expect it's only when it grows wings that it can fly. It must have grown them when we were sitting in the shop. What luck for us." "Peter, let's wait till the chair grows wings again and then get in it, and then we can see where we could go next," said Molly. Her face was red with excitement. "Oh, do let's." "But it might take us anywhere," said Peter. "Still, we have always wanted adventures, haven't we? So we'll try. The very next time our wishing chair grows some wings, we'll sit in it and fly off again." "Hooray!" said Molly. "Oh, I hope it'll be tomorrow." That's the end of chapter 1. So, we've now found out where the chair comes from. So, the adventures of the wishing chair. Some of you had made predictions about it being a magic chair. So, let's think about what we know from the first chapter. We know that it seems to be a magic chair that can fly, and they found it in an antique shop, and that was a new word that was introduced to us. My quick question is, who can remember what that word antique means? If you can remember, pop it in a wee comment for me. And the next task I want you to do is make a prediction. So what do you think is going to happen in chapter 2?